He has gone to jail for me to be in Canada and to see where I am. He wrote those books. Or reading those, I have become what I am. I have to pay my due to Canadians and to baha'u'llah, number one. So, I tell you today, the name of the Universal House of Justice is International Institution, International Spiritual Baha'i Assembly. Okay? Just as we have National Spiritual Assemblies, this is International Spiritual Assembly. Universal House of Justice, the term should be applied to them when they accept the existence of the Universal House of Guardianship. Until such time, just call them International Institution of International Spiritual Assembly, so they get to that stage. Not yet. Number two, the member of Universal House of Justice should not be elected just more than 1 year. Just 1 year. Digitally is very easy. You can re-elect them. Because if they get elected, more than that, there are people. They made investigations on it. They invest money on this and time to get there and try to manipulate the Baha'i faith and the Baha'is. Number three is very, very important. And this is my interpretation. I stand in front of Baha'u'llah on the next life to say, those who get elected in the National Spiritual Assembly, in the Universal House of Justice, only once they can get elected. No repeat. Just once. Once they get elected in the Universal House of Justice, they can't come anymore. Just once. 1 year and once. That's it. You may change that 1 year to 2 years, but definitely not more than 2 years. Simply, my friends, because there are opportunists that they invest money and time. And it's very easy. You put ties and suits and you go there and get elected up there, and God knows who you are. And then 5 of you are there. You're trying to manipulate the faith of God, and that way you can just break it down. Why all the Baha'i teachers are suffering? You don't believe me? Go find some. Like Ted Globish in Calgary. And many others that I know. They always suffer from the institutions, you know. And I gave you the reason is that they are not teachers. In this age, right now, provisionally speaking, the world has to become Baha'i. They have not come. The great peace has not come. So the members of the local, national, and universal have to be known in teaching the non-Baha'is the Baha'i. And not just writing books there. Going, talking to people, you know. So, of course, when he said, I said to Mr. Ghadirian, my Universal House of Justice is being taken hostage. I cannot even contact it. The machinery of God has been taken hostage. You have sent no letter to me in 15 years. And you said you will get a letter so many years ago to me at 1996, 1995. You could not get a second letter. And God knows who are manipulating these things. One of these people was, I think, that was opposing. It was that translator, Mr. Adib Taharzadeh. He died. God took him away because of his opposition to me. And then there was another guy, Mahboubi. I think that was the assistant to the consular. That he went to my brother there. He was really, really going against me. This guy also got cancer and died. Many people opposed me, and Baha'u'llah got rid of them. And I know when the time comes, he'll do it. Not any spirituality. I'm not claiming to be even a spiritual person. I'm not claiming to be better than any Baha'is. What is written about me as an elder, that I can be infinitely inferior to Abdul Baha. This is not what is written about the Baha'is. No Baha'is, whoever it is never infinitely inferior than Abdul Baha. But an elder can be. It is so. Fluctuations is so much among the elders. One of them could be His Holiness the Bab, and one of them becomes low to the point that is amazingly down. But whatever they are, they have to be a Baha'i. An elder has to be a Baha'i. A person who does not accept Bab, Baha'u'llah, the Bab, the Shoghi Effendi, and the Universal House of Justice, or I should say the world order of Baha'u'llah. All these 5 has to be accepted. If it is not accepted, he is not a Baha'i. Therefore, especially the one that I mentioned before, Baha'u'llah cast him right off and tells him, you are totally an infidel. Baha'u'llah tells him. And he was replaced by another person, therefore we still have 5 elders to come. So it came in, and I was always wondering and saying to myself that God, from Adam to Noah to Jesus to Moses, Muhammad, all of them, they came here to say that Baha'i faith appears. Bob comes, and His Holiness the Bob comes with 18 letters of living, 20,000 souls that all got martyred, perished. Maybe 50,000 more live martyrs, different living martyrs in the Baha'i faith, like Martha Root, you know. In the West and East, they have been teaching. So after Bob, Baha'u'llah comes, His Majesty, Divine Majesty, the most amazing thing, the very God Himself. The God in the computer. That's how we see Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah is that screen of the computer that talks to us. It is Him, there is no doubt. But it is not the power that He emanates through the computer is because He can't be downloaded in the computer. Never mind computer, the whole earth cannot download Him. Just perish, everything. But His image is transferred in that computer, it talks to us. It is Him. However, it does not have those powers that essential as God has. If you ask Him to build me this house, He says, I can't do it. Why? Because I'm in this computer and it's me talking to you. You know that it's me. But because as an image, I can't do more than this. I can tell you what to do, but nothing more than that. So I said, God. And then Shoghi Effendi comes and all of that. And God, you have put the whole thing on my back. Who am I to carry all of this? Like Abdul Baha was appointed by Baha'u'llah. Shoghi Effendi was appointed. Hands of the cause were appointed. But elders cannot be appointed by people like this. You can't see it. Shoghi Effendi says Baha'u'llah will choose them, the elders and also the future guardians. So that's a mighty task for an elder to come down. And among the people, how could he prove? The only proof that I have for you, that although I'm not better than you in no wise, but my knowledge and my information is a specific. It's something you don't know. Like you might own the house, but I'm the plumber, I'm the technician. And I see what's wrong. Because your elected representative at the whole level are just do not match my knowledge in understanding the faith and what the problem is, and I know it, that makes me superior over them in the matter pertaining to the knowledge, to the specific part that I am made for to tell about this institution of guardianship. And you guys don't know it, I brought it to you first time. Since this first time is brought about by us, by me, then I am the elder of God. That's how my claim is. And the legal point of the value is that if I'm saying that I'm not an elder, then everything that I tell you as interpretations, you as a Baha'i cannot follow it. But when I tell you I'm an elder, then I'm allowed to interpret. But that is not why I say I'm an elder. I'm an elder because Abdul Baha told me, but I begged the Universal House of Justice to say I am not and I can escape it, but they didn't say that. So finally, his Master Qadirian came and went, and I told him that. He asked me that, Mr. Taimuri, okay, about the elders I heard your stories, but why do you say elders can interpret? Where does it say they can interpret? I told him, you go home on the computer, you call me and I call you, I have your numbers, you get on the computer, bring the website of the Universal House of Justice, I'm going to bring it and show it to you. And I showed it to him. Well, in the world order of Baha'u'llah, Shoghi Effendi says, future guardians, this guardian, other guardian, they share the responsibility of the interpretations with Abdul Baha, but they're not co-equal. to Abdul Baha and Baha'u'llah in no ways, although they share the same responsibility. And of course we know future guardian means elders, because there is no other way. There are 24 guardians, Abdul Baha says, and Shobi says there are 24 elders. So we don't have 24 guardians and 24 elders. So they both mean the same. Guardian means elder. And that is what it means about the future guardian that Shobi Effendi speaks. I have to mention another thing here that some people have brought about to me, that they said that, what are we talking about the Universal House of Guardianship? A guardian was supposed to be the son of Shobi Effendi. Shobi Effendi didn't have son. Surely we know there's a building, it should be the House of Guardianship. But there's no guardian to be in that building. So the building is irrelevant. If there was a guardian, that would be the building he would reside. I said, this is the problem you have. You guys think Shobi Effendi is, since his name, his responsibility is guardianship, and he is a guardian, you think he is the member of the institution of guardianship. That's false. Shobi Effendi, despite his name as a guardian, he is actually the member of the Universal House of Justice. And he's the chief of Universal House of Justice. And he has the veto over the decisions of the Universal House of Justice. The Universal House of Justice members have to obey him. He can actually fire the member of Universal House of Justice. So he can't be the member of the Universal House of Justice as also the member of the institution of guardianship. He can't jump from this building to go attend that building and then come in this building. That is not so. Okay? Because he's talking about a third building as the House of Guardianship, the center of the interpretation, he says. He doesn't say the center of the interpreters. See, interpreters referring to a specific individual who is interpreter. But Shobi Effendi says the center of the interpretation. Therefore, one can carry interpretation without being interpreters. This is very important. So, this House of Guardianship, that is institution of guardianship that has been brought into Baha'i faith, is secondary in reality to Universal House of Justice. It is, they don't have power over each other. They're both parallel, running parallel in the power. But in reality, Universal House of Justice is the only infallible institution in the Baha'i faith, not the Universal House of Guardianship. This is very important, my dear friends. We cannot have two infallibles, never. Just one. And that is the Universal House of Guardianship, Universal House of Justice. Universal House of Guardianship is like Senate. It interprets the law authentically, okay? But this authenticity, it has to be sealed by the Universal House of Justice. Then that book becomes authentic for the Baha'is to read. This is the relationship. However, Universal House of Justice, when they want to enact a law, since they do not know the interpretations, they will have to ask the Universal House of Guardianship what is the interpretations of such things in the Baha'i faith. And they represent all the scientists of the world, and they say, okay, this is their interpretations of smoking or any other laws in the faith. That they think according to science and logic, this is their interpretation. Using their interpretation, which is needed, Universal House of Justice can enact law. So you see, both houses, they need each other. However, the Baha'is are carried by the leadership of the Baha'is is by the Universal House of Justice. It's very, very important. And also, do not be baffled, the Universal House of Justice gets in